Hi everyone, my name is Eva and this is the walkthrough of my Edward Scissorhands costume. This is my first ever tutorial and I'm super excited. Here we go! I started this process with some cheap belt buckles that I first sanded, painted black to get a nice base, and then with silver and finished them with some details. You might not be able to even see all the details, but making them is really fun and it gives the product some dimension. These are the finished buckles with some details. Here I'm starting with the scissors or the blades. I'm giving you the finger. Here are some examples of these cardboard fingers that I've crafted. I crafted the base form from cardboard and then I wrapped them in masking tape to make them sturdy. Now I'm ready to cover them in Worbla. If you're not familiar with Worbla, it's a non-toxic thermoplastic, which means you can shape it and reshape it by heating it with a hot air gun. I attached the scissor fingers to a piece of cardboard box, which I laid out on the table, and then started to work on the Worbla. You should always have something to cover your table you're working on to protect it from heat. Also, be careful, hot Worbla is hot, duh, so you can easily burn your fingers. Then you can smoothen the edges and seams with a tool of your choosing. You can even use your fingers once the Worbla is cooled down enough. This is how they looked before painting. You can also heat your coffee when it cools down too much. This is how they looked after a coat of black and silver paint. Here I'm doing the scissor handles. I used Fimo clay, which is a plastic clay that hardens in the oven. I kept reshaping the handle until I was satisfied with the form. I kept checking that they would actually fit my fingers and used actual scissors as reference. Man, I wish I was this fast in real life. Just take your time perfecting the handles and listen to some good music or watch some YouTube videos or binge watch Netflix or something. Okay, they're ready for the oven. All baked and delicious. I promise I didn't taste them too much. Now I'm moving on to attaching the handles to the blades. I tried it first with hot glue, then super glue, and it didn't really work, so I ended up using some more Worbla scraps, because you can use and reuse all the small leftover parts, which is great about Worbla. Here you can see the process. Again, be careful not to burn your fingers. I used my shaping tool to smoothen the edges. And here I have all the scissor fingers that I attached the handle to. I then sanded the new piece of Worbla. Look at my super speed! Woo! Now that it's all smooth, I added a layer of super glue to secure it in place. It would probably have been sturdy enough without the superglue, but I couldn't resist the feeling of superglued fingertips. Oh well, one does not simply not glue their fingertips, right? There, nice and smooth and sturdy. I painted these the same way I painted the buckles and the blades. So I started by sanding them to get a nice even base, and then I painted them black. After the black color, I painted them with silver and then added some details with black color. Here I'm trying them on. Of course I had to make weird faces and scare our cats, but they weren't at all interested in my doings. How bizarre. Next, I'm doing the bits that go on top of the gloves that mimic steel. Now I know it's not really spot on accurate compared to the actual movie version Scissorhands, but hey, this is my interpretation. Mine. My own, my precious. Oh, sorry, wrong movie. I painted pieces of fake leather with this bronzy gold paint, and then I added some details. I'm doing this because it was a fast way to get an even base and to get rid of the brush strokes. Here I'm using my new hot glue gun, as the previous one broke down, and I broke down with it a little bit as well. Again, I don't even fully know what function this bit has, but it looks cool, so who cares? I wanted to make it look like a hand's bones or tendons, so made these cuts and then enhanced them with black paint. This is what it looks like painted. And now there's two! Oh, and I also did this. Yeah. I then cut out these tiny bits of fake leather, which was really tedious, to make them look like little bolts or studs. I glued them on with, you guessed it, super glue. I then painted around them to make them look aged. Also, pro tip, your fingers are a perfect painting or blending tool. Ta-da! Now on to the gloves. Because I'm a little nuts, I wanted to make them myself. I know. Here are the first two endearing attempts. I almost gave up, but then I decided to try and make a duct tape trick, which has been used by many cosplayers. I did this to get a fitted pattern, and this is how the finished glove with the metal bit looks like. Now I'm moving on to making my harness. I know Edward is wearing a lot of belts and not really a harness, but again, this is my version and I want to do a harness. I got this tip from an awesome cosplayer, Alison Tabitha. If you haven't already checked her work out, do it. Do it. I used craft foam and fake leather and an abundance of hot glue. Rest in peace, old glue gun. I made all the bits in the harness the same way and added the buckles like so. I then added some bolts that I got from the hardware store. I ended up adding super glue to really secure them in place. Also, again, secured my fingertips together. I then sanded the extra hot glue and super glue to make it nice and neat. I finished it off with some black paint. This is what the finished harness looks like. It's a lot of fake leather, bolts, hot glue and desperation. Agony. I mean delight. Also, an old diesel belt of mine that I totally destroyed. Sorry, Diesel. This is what it looks like on. Such pose. Finally, I made the belt buckle for the biggest belt. Being a clever girl, I totally forgot to film the process of crafting this out of Fimo clay, but I did remember to film the painting process, so here goes. As you can see what is happening, I'll provide you with the sounds of making it instead. Wow! Yikes!
Oh!
Yeah! This is the finished belt with the buckle. I sewed this zigzag onto fake leather and then superglued the buckle in place. I added Velcro tape to be able to take it off and put it on easily. And here is Noki, which means soot in Finnish. She is my little helper. And now for some Academy Award worthy posing and acting. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about it. I will be making a makeup tutorial later as well. And for now, farewell, photo baggins or viewer. Goodbye.